unlock the secrets of the unseen? Welcome to EVP Explorations, the show that takes you beyond the veil and into the world of the unknown. Hosted by Todd Bates, a seasoned investigator and specialist in electronic voice phenomena, this is your guide to uncovering the voices of the dead. Whether you're a seasoned paranormal investigator or just beginning your journey, EVP Explorations brings you the tools, tips, and techniques you need to capture the whispers of the afterlife. From proper recording methods to incredible real-life experiences, this show is your gateway to mastering the art of EVP. Join us live every Friday at 8 p.m. Central on the Sacred Spiral Network as we explore the mysteries of the paranormal and teach you how to connect with the other side. This is EVP Explorations with Todd Bates. Tune in, listen close, and dare to discover what lies beyond.
And a good evening, one and all. Welcome, EVP Explorations. I'm your host, Todd Bates. My goodness, the last day of January has arrived. Thank goodness. Like the longest month of the year. But, hey, we've got a great show planned here for you tonight. We're going to be talking about the scientific versus paranormal theories in EVP recording. Going to discuss some of those theories, what they are, get your feedback on those as well. Then we're going to actually load up an EVP. I have one loaded for you. We're going to analyze it. And we're going to see what you guys think with both theories. We're going to apply both, what it could be, what it couldn't be. We'll try and debunk it and see what we can get. But there's a lot of great updates here. While you guys are trickling in here, I'll just get out some updates for all the folks watching the replay. Those of you just tuning in on the live, welcome everybody. I'll give some hellos here in a moment. But we have so many updates with the website. I want to push that website once again. It's a mecca of information, that place is. There's a study guide there to get started. You know, it's not just for those just starting in electronic voice phenomenon recording. No, it's for seasoned veterans out there. Everybody needs a refresher course. Everybody has different opinions. Everybody has different methods of capturing EVP. These are just methods that work for me over the years. So hopefully you guys can gain some information from there. And most of all, gain some EVP, good captures out there by applying these different methods and things. So the study guide is there. You can download it for free, of course. You can view it right there online through your little mobile phone, whatever you guys want. The forum up there, there is an old school forum, and it's filled with information, ready for you guys to reply to the topics and interact and get some things going, get some conversations going out there about electronic voice phenomena, the paranormal in general. There's all kinds of different topics there for you. You can sign up free of charge. There's none of that spam crap. I don't believe in that stuff, so there's none of that. It's a real simple process. You sign up, register to get into the forum. We just can't have a bunch of robots in there. That's all. You'll get a bunch of robots without getting some kind of login law. So we got to get that in there. And what we added too, thank you to our producer, Mark. Mark Davies is awesome, folks. He does a lot of things behind the scenes with the show. So big shout out to Mark. A lot of things behind the scenes. Now, what Mark has done as far as the website's concerned is he actually had the guide and kept it because I had lost it, and I revised it and put that up there. But there's so much that goes into EVP Explorations, folks. It's not a end all be all. It's not. I'm not sitting here saying that I know everything there is about electronic voice phenomena. I'd be lying to your face. That's not the point. The point of this is to give you guys a good foundation, to get you guys started, to give you guys something for free out there, some kind of guide, some kind of protocol, some kind of method to go out there and do this. Because this is one of the reasons one of these theories are here is because we really can't seem to make up our minds on what is what. So hopefully tonight we can put our heads together, come across with some discussions, post those comments, folks, get those questions in there. If you have any theories of your own, post them in there. We'll hash them out. That's what this show is all about, is getting down to the bottom of electronic voice phenomenon, why it's here, why we are able to hear it, how. So many questions, very little answers. So maybe we can solve some of those tonight by hashing a few things out. You never know. But I want to give some big shout outs out there, of course, to my Sherry. My beautiful Sherry's watching tonight. She's able to. Hi, honey. I love you. And of course, Chris Stant. Chris, how are you, my friend? Lee Warner's here. She showed up. How you doing, Lee? Michael Christopher just popped in there as well. Megan's out there running the moderator board over there on YouTube. So it's a safe place to put your comments, folks. Put them in there. And, let's hash out some things. And there's like I said, a plethora of information there at evpexplorations.com. Be sure and check that out. And our members group, so proud of that group, that Facebook group, discussion group, EVP Explorations group. We're over 800 members now, and it is a great place to discuss EVP. There's a lot of great examples being put in there, a lot of great discussions going on in there. These are serious things, folks, serious discussions. This isn't some willy-nilly, hey, this is what I got one night. It's not that kind of group. It's a serious discussion group. So be sure and check that out over there on Facebook as well. You can access that through our website too, there at evpexplorations.com. So what we're going to do, we're going to skip off to a quick break and a tip for you guys, recording tip. So we're going to do a short break, recording tip, and now when we come back, we're going to get started with some of these scientific versus paranormal theories pertaining to electronic voice phenomena. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stay tuned. More EVP Explorations on the way, folks.
Introducing The Haunted Voice by Todd Bates, a powerful autobiography that takes you on an unforgettable journey through life's darkest struggles and most hopeful triumphs. From working as a corrections officer to finding himself behind bars, Todd's story dives deep into the battle against alcoholism and addiction, revealing the raw, unfiltered truths of hitting rock bottom. But this is not just a story of despair. It's a story of redemption, recovery, and hope. As a seasoned paranormal investigator and EVP specialist, Todd also opens the door to his chilling experiences with the supernatural, weaving together tales of the paranormal with deeply personal revelations. The Haunted Voice isn't just a book, it's a lifeline for those seeking recovery, a guide for those facing their own demons, and a treasure for paranormal enthusiasts. Available now on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Apple Books, The Haunted Voice makes the perfect gift for anyone looking for inspiration, guidance, or simply an incredible story. Order your copy today and discover the voice that refuses to be silenced. Recording tip. During a group EVP recording session, designate one EVP specialist to conduct the session. During the live session, the designated EVP specialist may shine a flashlight on the person they designate to ask the next question.
Eight minutes past the hour. Welcome back, EVP Explorations. Those of you just joining us, I'm your host, Todd Bates. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight talking about the scientific versus paranormal theories out there regarding EVP recording. It's pretty tricky stuff, folks. It's a lot of what you believe, yet what you don't believe, or what you want to believe. So many different things that we're going to discuss tonight. Hopefully, we're going to get some participation from you fine folks with some comments in there. Steve, welcome, my friend. Great to see you. Great to see you. There's so much that goes into this. Science has picked on us for years. Skeptics have picked on us for years. Let them continue to do so, please, because that only motivates us more to fix our errors, fix our ways, and get back out there and on the straight and narrow and do what we're supposed to do when it comes to EVP recording. We're not here to prove anything to anyone. And I want you folks to understand that. And don't come into this field thinking, okay, I've got to capture an EVP. It's got to be the best EVP, a Class A EVP, or no one's going to believe me that that's what it is. No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Don't come into it with that mentality. It's not your job to prove anything to anyone. It really isn't. Unless you want to prove self-satisfaction for yourself. There's that when it comes to this field. But some of the theories out there, the scientific theories, the biggest one, equipment interference. That seems to be one of the biggest things they'll throw it on us, especially back, us old school people using analog equipment. They'll blame it on the equipment and basically say it's gear noise, it's internal microphone malfunctions, it's so many different things they say. Michael's got a comment here. What's he saying here? He says, I say the same thing about mediumship. I do my thing, and it's up to people to make up their own minds. Absolutely, Michael. It is. That is the true foundation of it, is to build your own foundation. Gather as much information as you can. Gather as much knowledge as you can. Get out there and unlearn it and build your own foundation. Build your own belief system. It is what it is. And sometimes you just have to accept that it is what it is. There are no absolutes. That's what kicked me out of this field the first time. I couldn't find an absolute. No, there are none. And I don't think we're going to find it anytime soon. So don't let science get you down. Don't let them say, okay, you're using a mechanical recorder that has moving parts. It's going to make noise. It's going to make little groans and grunts in there when the tape is skidding across its magnetic contact. And it could very well do that, folks. Absolutely. But it's our job to differentiate. And that's why we analyze. We just don't go out there to an investigation and claim every willy-nilly sound that you capture as an EVP. Oh, absolutely not. Don't do that, folks. You've got to take it back. You've got to analyze it. You've got to break it down. You've got to try your best to debunk that file. Kick it out of the system. That's what you're trying to do. 2%. 2%, folks. Oh, geez. Yeah. 2%. Love the balloons. 2% is actually the paranormal involved with this. 98% of this stuff can be written off. And that's something that we have to get tough skin about. Very tough skin. Because other people need to critique our captures. They need to be peer reviewed, in my opinion. Absolutely. You can't just sit there and put it up to your ear. Oh, yeah? Someone's going to die in the barn tonight. Yeah, that's what it says. Someone's going to die in the barn tonight. Okay. All right, we're out of here. No, it's not like that. You process it, you analyze it, you get peer reviews on each clip and what it says, what you think it says. Don't suggest it to other people, even though we all do. And I'll be doing that tonight with a file as well, just to prove an example of suggestion, which is one of the scientific theories, again, that kick our rear. The suggestion, or even pareidolia, we can classify it in the same bracket. The suggestion. So if I sit here and tell you, and I play a file, and I don't tell you what I think it says, I can pretty much guarantee you're going to come up with your own saying, your own opinion on what it says. If I tell you, after we play it, I think it says, come back. You're going to hear, your brain is going to listen for, come back, because I just suggested you to hear that. So you're going to hear that. Whether you like it or not, you're going to hear that 9 times out of 10. Now, there's that 10th time the EVP is so bad, it shouldn't even be, it should be kicked in a bucket somewhere. That it's not going to, some people still can't make it. But be careful. Be careful out there with your files. And like I said, we're going to analyze one here tonight, here in a little while. But what do we have here? Hey, David, great to see you, my friend. Welcome to the show. and Kristen. David Stansfield. Well, welcome, Kristen. Great to see you too. Do you guys have your own investigation team? You guys interested out there? Let me know. I'm curious. I love this stuff. And Courtney has arrived. Yes, the show can start now. Courtney has arrived. We're missing John, though. John Swinky's usually here, but that's okay. He may be under the weather. I was under the weather this week. It was rough, folks. Sunday, oh, it was terrible. Monday, it was just something going around, but hang in there. We're going to get better. Now, Chris has a question here. My question is, Todd, can you use different types of recorders to get EVP, or do I have to get a Tascam recorder? So which one will work? Good question, Chris. And I tell you what, I've had so many emails and comments about which device to use. Which is the best? Which should I use? Well, it depends on what kind of recording you want. What I suggest for your normal recording sessions, get out there, get a digital recorder, an old school digital recorder, not one of these new school. You don't have to get the Zoom Tascam. You don't have to get the latest model. You can pick up a digital recorder off Amazon for about $30, $40 for a good one. And it's got plenty of space on it for you. And it has the option of where you can use the audio patch cable we talked about last week, which helps eliminate the scientific crap that they throw at us. You can try that. Try the digital. Now, if you guys want to do old school EVP recording, I'm your man. You just let me know. I'll walk you through it step by step. Sherry just enforced tonight, actually. And when Sherry talks, I listen. I really do. She doesn't think I do a lot, but I do. We're going to be getting out during the day. We're going to go back to one of our favorite locations next week during the day. And we're going to share the results here on the show next week, or one of the weeks here coming up. We'll share the results of that. But we're getting out there here soon, too. I need to. So does she. It's a good thing. Steve's got a comment here. Hey, Todd Bates, this was interesting. I was doing some research on different radio frequencies. Can disturb electromagnetic wave frequencies. Considered most believed spirits consist of electromagnetic energy. Very true. It was saying if different radio wave frequencies are too close to what electromagnetic energy waves, and so on, it can cause a disruption that the energy now. With that being said, do you think different radio frequencies and waves can hamper a spirit's voice when trying to communicate with us? Absolutely. They can manipulate anything, I feel, especially the more natural it is, the easier it is for them to manipulate. This is where science and the paranormal meet. Radio, for example, has carrier waves. FM has 2 carrier waves. So the way this works, perhaps, the spirit rides on one of these interdimensional carrier waves. We have a recording device, digital, analog, what have you, and they meet. They connect somehow. It could be a natural connection. It could be electromagnetic, like you said, Steve. It could be static generated. It could be they learn to match that frequency with the sample rate needed for the recorder. Boom, there it is imprinted. We really don't know how it gets on there. All we know is that they do, because we can't explain what they are. They're not just voices. Science says, oh, that's a voice, but that's probably something interdimensional coming through. You guys are using thought process. Isn't that paranormal? So you just threw science in there with it. You understand what we're trying to do. Yeah, you're not helping us because you guys want us to do all the work and discover it, and they take the credit for it later. That's what it's all about. I mean, that's just the way it is with science. Everything's absolute with science, and this field has no absolutes. So we have to put our heads together and work a little harder, get out there in the field. And Michael, my friend, great to see you. Always good to see Mikey. And you get out there, you capture your evidence, you're in a known location that is known to be haunted by yourself. You've been there several times. You know this is a good location. You know it produces evidence. Analyze it. Take time to analyze it. But analyze it well. Shake it down. I mean, shake this thing apart. Don't just sit there and play it and say this is what it is. No, no, no. You want to break it down. Now, when we break this file down here in a moment, we'll show you guys what it looks like compared to what science says it may be and what paranormal says it may be. You'll see the waveform. You'll see the spectral view. You'll be able to see the difference. It's not the best example. This is an old file, so it's got old signals in it. So it's not going to be crisp and clear like one that I would capture today, for example. The example I have is an older file. You guys will see it'll be a little pixelated and everything. It's been beat up. It's been around a little while. But nonetheless, it'll give you an idea of what to look for when you're analyzing your own. And I use Adobe Audition. You guys can use Audacity. Chris, he has a Tascam, and it comes with its own editing software. Use that. Use whatever it takes for you to properly analyze that file. And take the extra time to do just that. So what we're going to do, we're going to skip off. We come back, we're going to analyze the file. It's one of my favorites from the past. It's an analog recording as well. And we'll analyze that. Get your guys' opinion and idea. I'll share the screen, get the window up here for you so you guys can see what the waveform and spectral view look like and what we're looking for when we're looking for what I call the spirit vocal print. All that coming up. Stay tuned. EVP Explorations on the way. Don't touch the dial. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to explore the unknown? Dive into the world of the strange, mysterious, and unexplained with EVP Expeditions magazine. Each issue is packed with spine-tingling tales, cutting-edge paranormal investigations, and exclusive insights into hauntings, cryptids, UFOs, and more. Whether you're a seasoned investigator or just love a good ghost story, EVP Expeditions magazine has something for you. Join our growing community of truth seekers and adventure lovers. Subscribe today at EVPExpeditionsmagazine.com and unlock the secrets of the supernatural. Are you ready? That's EVPExpeditionsmagazine.com, where the extraordinary is just a click away. Dare to discover.
23 minutes past the hour. Welcome back, everybody. EVP Explorations right here live. Those of you just joining us, I'm your host, Todd Bates, and we're discussing the scientific and paranormal theories regarding EVP recording. Now, before the break, we discussed what those theories may be as far as pareidolia, suggestion, mechanical interference. Also, we discussed the paranormal side, the anomalies, what we capture, all the different facets of those theories. And we have to do the legwork, and we definitely discussed that. Do the legwork, analyze your files. We're going to go over one of those here in just a moment. Got a few comments here. David Stan, how you doing, David? He is stating here, I do have a question for you, Todd. Do you go for the old school paranormal EVP or newer EVP? Yeah, what a good question. Of course, with me, David, I'm going to go old school all the way. I'm a sucker for an analog EVP, but I do enjoy my digital. Now, I'm not versed. I have never done the Estes method, for example, or anything ITC related, really. I concentrate, focus, specialize on electronic voice phenomena, which is the capturing of voices on an analog or digital recorder, not a spirit box, not any of those ITC devices, But an analog, a digital recorder, even a camcorder, the old camcorder I have sitting there, that Sony Handycam, has picked up several EVP as well. Magnetic tape. No, it's just, that's always been my thing, David. Great question. And he says here he's the co-founder of SBI's Paranormal, and he's been doing paranormal with his dad for 9 years and learned a lot. That's freaking awesome. I love hearing that. Doing things with family. I mean, there's so many investigation teams out there that are family based, and I think that's great because that cuts down on a lot of drama and a lot of squawking. But it also creates some drama and squawking. So you get the best of both worlds. But good luck with the team, and maybe we can get you on the show here sometime and talk about some of your methods, you guys getting out there and recording and things, David. I'd love to talk with you about that stuff. And Michael is saying, we have used a Windows-based ITC device called Phasmabox. I'm usually skeptical of these types of devices, but was actually very surprised how effective this instrument is. Our group has gotten interesting evidence from it. And, you know, Mikey, I want one of those so bad. David Class, he has, and Austin Maynard makes a lot of these things too. But these Phasma boxes, they're incredible. The way that they, not only that they use the voice, but it's the voices that they use. They're eerie sounding, they're creepy sounding almost. So you get that ambiance with it too. But they're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun, and I would love to have one of those. I would use it quite a bit, I'm sure. Experiment with it, just to compare the two, just to see. It's important. Comparison's important. The whole thing's about communication. At the end of the day, folks, it's all about communication and finding some of these answers here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually play the file for you first. Then we're going to analyze it. Let me see if I can get in here. Here we go. We're going to play the file. I'm not going to tell you what it says, but we're going to play it. And you guys you're more than welcome to post your opinion on what you feel it says, because I'm going to be asking you here in a little while once we finish analyzing it. But here's the file in its raw form, and it was captured on an analog recorder in an old schoolhouse. Now, as you can hear, I mean, to me, that sounds like a child. The word, I have slowed it down enough, not on this file, of course, but while analyzing it, to hear what I feel it says. What do you guys think that file says? Before I make that suggestion, you know, because once I suggest it, all of you are going to hear it. Does that make it a Class A? No, it does not. It does not. What makes it a Class A is if all of you posted right now what that says, and if 4 or more of you agreed upon what that says, then it's a Class A. Now, no. Because I'm about to suggest to you what I feel that file says. And what we were doing at the moment would make sense once I tell you the story behind it, which that's not scientific, but it does have a story behind it. And I'll replay it, Moochie. Oh, let's will. But I'll replay what it says. And then I'll suggest. Here we go. Let me play it for you again. I'll play it 3 times. Okay. That's 3 times. Now, you can tell it's of a little girl. It's a female little girl's voice. You can tell that. Now, when you're analyzing EVP files, folks, it's important to train your ear, or the pareidolia will kick in. And if I sit here and play this again 3 more times, which I will, you guys are going to hear something completely different. Watch. Okay. Now you're hearing something completely different because you have no suggestion of what it is. And your brain is going, well, I know it says something. It has to say something. What does it say? It says this. Does it say this? How about this? Let's try this. Mm-mm. You have to slow down, break that file down, slow it down, slow down the time and pitch of the file. And then you can hear the syllables. You can actually hear the syllables. Now, with a trained ear and doing this for years, I don't have to do a lot of these things any longer. They're just there. You train your ear. But for you guys just doing it for the first time, that is a ghostly voice. That is a disembodied voice. That is the spirit of a child saying something at an old schoolhouse. And I'll tell you what we were doing prior to that. We were taking pictures. There were flashes everywhere. Ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. And what I came up with when I analyzed that file, when I slowed it down, cleaned it up, amplified it just a tad, I found that is a little girl saying the word stop. That's simple. Stop. Now I'm going to play this again. And you guys tell me in the comments if you do not hear her say stop. Here you go. Now tell me, you just heard that little girl say stop. A lot of you are going to hear that little girl say stop because I just suggested that to you. And it's probably going to make more sense to you now. Know that I have analyzed that file, and that child, more than likely, 98%, does say stop. So how did you guys not hear her say stop the first time? Well, because your brain didn't have that suggestion. It didn't know. It wasn't there. It wasn't around the situation, see? But now that you have heard it, the paranormal theory kicks in. Now that I've told you it says stop and I've analyzed it and that's what I feel it says is stop, you guys hear stop. That's communication. Whether how minute that is, that spirit wanted us to stop taking pictures. The flash was driving her nuts or scaring her or something. And that child was very adamant when it said, stop. And that's simply all it said. So what do you do at that point? You freaking stop. You don't sit there and continue doing it and provoke. It's obviously bothering them, so you stop. So you stop. Now, yes. Now, a lot of you are saying, it sounds like mom. See, there's so much more coming in. And see, I mean, now that you hear it, it does say stop. Mikey, definitely stop. And of course, Michael, loud and clear. I mean, there's kind of heard it, but had some trouble making out. Yeah. And it's tough, Sandy. It is. It's tough. You have to train your ear to do this. And what we're going to do is I'm going to share the screen with you. And this same file I have loaded up in Adobe Audition. So let me get this. You guys are going to see. There we go. So as you can see, I've got it loaded up right here in Audition. This is that little girl saying stop. Now, this top portion is called a waveform. This is the waveform. This is the actual file. This is the signal. This is what you're seeing. This bottom part is called the spectral view. This is the most important view of an EVP, is the spectral view. Reason being is there are what I call spirit vocal prints, because even Audition can't get it. When you have, and I should have had a comparison here for you, but when you have a regular human vocal print, like if you and I were talking right now and it was recording an Audition here, you would see fossil looking images going all the way up and they would be so distinct. you would be able to tell right away that is a human voice. And they would be going up and down. They would be vertical. Okay. What's strange about this is where the little girl says stop is right here. From here all the way to here is that word stop. Now, as you can see with the little hand here, there's no vocal prints, no human fossil prints. As a matter of fact, the audio is horizontal. It's layered in there as if it passed in on something, some kind of other signal. It's not registered as it should, as a vocal should. It does not register as that. It registers as simple, solid, blotched lines. And they're just uniquely placed in there. So this is your vocal print, your spirit vocal print. The little girl says stop. Now, in the waveform, you can't see that. But in the spectral view, which I highly recommend, now Audacity has it and Adobe Audition has it, but you can really analyze the file from the spectral view and what it is. Now, don't do any editing with that. This has been barely edited. It's just been amplified a little bit, and you can really get in there and zoom in there, and you can see these spirit vocal prints. A human vocal print, like I said, would be vertical. It would be up and down. It would look like little fossils going all the way down, to where these are horizontal. Explain that, folks. Explain that. I mean, I'll take some questions with it. Let me see what you guys are saying here about it. Hi, Jamie Lynn. Oh, you're welcome, hon. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. You know I love this stuff. And Sandy, that's quite all right, because we're going to take it through step by step. And what I suggest for you, Sandy, is get over to our website, evpexplorations.com, evpexplorations.com. Follow that guide. Read the processes in there. It's a great way to get started with recording. It's a way, and there's no right or wrong way with this, but this is a way to do it. And we're not doing a full-blown analysis, which we'll do in future shows. This is just to compare what science versus the paranormal theories within an EVP. And we just saw that. Okay, let's see what Steve says here. He says, yeah, it sure did sound like stop to me. I think we have to take into consideration what state the little girl's from, because a lot of words have different types of slangs to them, which is something else to consider, meaning they talk a little different, even in Louisiana, than they would in South Dakota. Even though they're saying the same word, it might have a different slang. Absolutely, dialects. I mean, Southernisms. That's a big thing. Which, if you're down south, you capture an EVP. Listen for those Southernisms, like oral instead of oil. The little things. Just like Steve's saying, it's a good point, Steve. And Chris says, I have it. What it's saying to hook up my recorder. How can I break it down? We'll get to that, my friend. Hang in there. And Jamie Lynn. Oh, so she didn't hear. Oh, yes, I'll play it again. I'll play it again for you, Jamie Lynn. Just a second here. What we'll do is we'll play that again because she wasn't able to hear it. And what it was, this was the EVP we're analyzing right here, Jamie Lynn. I'll play it 3 times for you. And since you missed the suggestion part, if you couldn't make out what that says, I then suggested to everyone that it does say stop after it was analyzed. And several other people heard that as well. So see if you hear a little girl saying stop right here, Jimmy. And keep in mind, you probably didn't hear the story either. We were taking several photos in there, a lot of flashes and things going on. So we definitely heard the stop. The little girl wanted us to stop. And Jerry, hey, Jerry. Hi, Jamie. Jamie heard Jack. I'm not really surprised. I heard stop first time, and especially the third time you played it. See, and that's why this file isn't considered a Class A. That's why science says it's garbage, because you guys hear stop. I hear stop. Jerry hears stop, for example, but Jamie, she hears Jack. See, so you can't. It's insubmissible in anything. It's great for reference, great for training, but it's not something you would say this is an EVP. Science will tell you no, it's not. It's not. And in a way, they're correct, because we can't all agree upon what it says. There's no way to prove what it says. So it is what it is. And you just have to get that tough skin, develop that tough skin, and you'll get through it. You'll get through it. Don't let it bother you when you share your files and someone says, oh, it doesn't say that, it says this. Because there's going to be some naysayers and trolls and just people that need just kicked off a cliff. Just let them fall off the cliff themselves. Don't let what they say bother you. You share that evidence. You continue to go out there and get it, and you share it. Share it with me. Share it with people that actually care about the file. Post it to your social media. Get some responses. Don't worry about the trolls. Just delete their comments or ignore them entirely. That's what I do. They troll me all the time. I just ignore the hell out of them. I mean, that's the beauty of it. You can do that. You don't have to take that kind of abuse. Now, yeah. And Sandy heard Jack as well. She deleted the comment, but she heard Jack as well. There you go. She heard Jack as well. And Jamie Lynn saying, thank you. Yes, I heard the op part, but couldn't define the beginning. Constant for sure. Stop. Flop. Yeah, most likely stop. And that's just the point it came. That was from a stationary recording. When we had it recording, I was filming. I had the camera on a tripod filming with night vision and taking pictures as well. And that was just, I think, overload for that poor child. And they simply just said, stop. They've had enough. So that's what it's about. And that's what you do, folks. You go in there and analyze that file. You just don't capture it and just move on. You analyze. You want to make sure that that's what it is before you share it with everybody. And slow it down. Take the time to slow it down. Take the time to upload it raw in that waveform. You want that waveform, folks. You don't want a USB compressed MP3. You can use that after you're done analyzing. Of course, you can compress it after. But again, you want it raw. So upload it through that audio patch cable I told you about next week. And you guys can reference that show for next week if you missed how to do that, because we went through what they are, what they look like, how to hook them up. And if you still need help doing that, email me, Todd Bates at EVPExplorations.com. Todd Bates at EVPExplorations.com. And we'll go through it. We'll go through it. Greg, Mr. Greg Koss, great to see you. Thank you, Greg. So with those theories in mind, that's what we're looking at basically tonight. Is don't let it bother you. Science is always going to be there. They're waiting for us to make the next move. They're waiting for us to discover something different. Getting close. Once we do, we may actually have their backing, have their help, have their funding to where we can get out there and learn from this and discover, get some answers for once. That's what's important. That's what's important. So we're going to take this final break here, folks. And when we come back, we're going to do a wrap up, take your questions, comments, all that fun stuff. And I'll tell you what's coming up next week on EVP Explorations. all that cool stuff. Wrap up coming up. Stay tuned. Don't touch that dial. More on the way. We'll be right back.
Brace yourself for the Paranormal Rockdown, July 18th and 19th, 2025 at the haunted Broadhead Manor. Friday night, rock out with Dead Amsterdam, Left on Red, and headliner Green Jelly. The music may not be the only thing shaking these walls. Rumor has it the spirits love a good beat. Will you meet one? Saturday, meet paranormal legends like Dave Schrader, Sam Baltrusis, and more. Enjoy thrilling workshops, tasty treats, and a live Zoom Q&A with Dustin Perry. Dive into the ultimate paranormal investigation with expert guides. Or join a spine-tingling seance with Sam Baltrusis. Tickets are limited. Get yours now for an unforgettable weekend of music, mystery, and chills.
And we're nearing the top of the hour here. EVP Explorations, right here live. I'm your host, Todd Bates. Those of you folks just joining us, if you missed the show, don't worry. We've got everything covered for you. Podcast form, you guys can find it over on Podbean. You can search all your favorite podcast mediums, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Pandora. Just search EVP Explorations. We will come up. You will subscribe to those. If you want to listen to the show, you can subscribe and download them that way. You can also watch them live on our YouTube channel, throughout Facebook. You can also watch them on our website, evpexplorations.com. They're all listed for you right there. I get them about 30 minutes after the live show. I get those up there for you for those of you folks that missed them. Now, next week, we're going to be having a discussion with Mr. Mark S. Lee, and we're going to be talking about spirit communication. He's got some ideas. He's got some things he's created to communicate with spirits. We're going to talk with him about it. It's important. Communication is key. Now, tonight's episode was about the scientific and paranormal theories behind EVP recording. Hopefully you guys got some information out of there. And let me see what Steve needs here. Steve's saying, hey, Todd, this is a little off subject, but when you were taking those photos and all those flashes were coming toward this little girl, and she said, stop, it kind of sounds like a different lighting conditions can bother spirits, meaning too bright or dark, because she didn't waste any time saying stop, as if those bright lights bothered her. Might be something else to consider. Freaking, that's amazing, Steve. See, this is why we take the time to discuss these things. Who would have thought? You know, the brightness itself, something just like that, folks, can just, in a second, and it just changes your entire investigation. You never know. You never know. And what I want you guys to do, we've got more training shows coming up, more great guests coming up. We've got Lisa Crick, Nicole Tito coming on here soon. We're going to have Tony Rathman, hopefully Ron Iacovetti, Lourdes, and Sherry. We're going to talk about Staticom coming up here soon. So many great guests, great shows, great information. Spread the word about EVP Explorations. If you're not members of our groups or you're not over on our fan pages, get over there. Subscribe to us on YouTube because we need to pass this around. We need to have some kind of basis for new people and veterans alike that people can use. Your refresher courses. We need to discuss some things and not just forget about EVP, but to discuss it. And Sandy, oh my goodness, thank you so much. That means the world to me. I'm glad you liked it. We're going to be here every Friday night at 8 p.m. And like I said, next week, we're going to be having guest Mark S. Lee. He's going to be joining us, talking about spirit communication. Probably some ITC is going to be thrown in there as well. So we're all going to screw up and learn something next week with Mark. It's going to be a great show. Now, next week, we have Mark, and then coming up, we're going to be doing an analysis show. I'm really looking forward to that. We are going to take an EVP and we're going to analyze it live in its waveform, and I'm going to show you guys how to analyze it, how to compress it when the analyzation's complete. So a lot of great stuff coming up here. So definitely stay tuned to the show. Sign up for our newsletter over there at evpexplorations.com. It's free of charge. I bug you about once a week, let you know about the live show. And then we do a monthly newsletter that has some recording tips and some theories and things, some methods in there for you, some good information for you. So you can subscribe to that free of charge over there on the website, evpexplorations.com. So until next week, folks, you guys get out there, try some of these methods, and share your findings with me. I want to know what you're capturing out there. Email me, Todd Bates at evpexplorations.com. You can contact me through the website as well, or social media. Let me know what you're getting out there. It's important. I love this stuff. I enjoyed this stuff. I love each and every one of you guys, and thank you so much for taking time to watch these live shows. It really, really, really means the world to me. Have a great weekend, and get the hell out there and record, folks. It's a good thing. Take care. Bye-bye.